And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bancroft Memorial Park for another day of baseball here in Bancroft, Iowa. My name is Mitchell Kieran, calling the action for today between the visiting Blue Earth Pirates and those guys. Well, we had a triangular series of games yesterday between the Fairmont Martins as well as the New Ulm Brewers and those guys. Each team splitting, picking up a win and a loss each. In the first contest, it went Fairmont dropping one late on a costly error to New Ulm, 5-3, the final score in that one. And then in game number two, it turned out to be a pretty solid game on the mound for those guys. Between three pitchers, we combining for 12 strikeouts between Michael Sturrock, Luke Patzner, as well as Ben Olson, in a 2-0 victory over New Ulm in a three-way combined and no-hitter. However, those roles were reversed in game number three as those guys dropped a close one, 2-0. It looked like a bit of a pitcher's duel, but in the end, it was Matt Lytle going lights out against those guys. So hopefully we can get a little more offense rolling today against the Pirates of Blue Earth, Minnesota. They got a nice right-hander on the mound against us today in Garrett Anderson, who will also be their cleanup batter. I believe those guys only combining for about 3 or 4 hits yesterday. So again, great work overall from Michael Sturrock, Luke Patzner, as well as Ben Olson and Tyler Jacobson in game number 3 yesterday. We will be without those pitchers today, as well as both of the Sturrocks, Michael and Will. And again, we got a hot one today here in Bancroft. Temperature is going to be right around 90 degrees by first pitch, and that could get up to the mid-90s later on this afternoon and into this evening. First pitch still slated for 2:30, but without further ado, let's go ahead and meet the starting lineups for the Blue Earth Pirates, who I believe enter this contest at 0-1. They had their first game of their collective summer season right back here at Bancroft this past Wednesday against the Fairmont Martins, and it was the Martins picking up a victory that night, 11-3. So leading things off for the Pirates, dressed in the navy blue and white today, at a catcher, number 4, Kalen Legrid. And batting second out of center field, number 6, Logan Jonke. Batting third for Blue Earth, wearing number 18 at first base, Anders Faring. And the cleanup hole, the pitcher, number 00, Garrett Anderson. And the 5 hole at second base, number 8, Kaden Mallow. Number 6, the designated hitter for the third baseman, number 33, Carson Legred. Batting 7th in left field, number 21, Joe Shavy. Batting 8th in right field, number 14, Keegan O'Brien, and batting 9th, wearing number 15 at shortstop, Hunter Blease. Once again, the pitcher will be their cleanup hitter, number 00, Garrett Anderson. The Pirates will be batting first today in both contests. Again, this is a 7-inning doubleheader today, only 2 games instead of 3 between those guys and Blue Earth. So a bit of a different lineup today. We're going to see a brand new slate of pitchers on the mound for those guys today, led by head coaches Michael Kieran and assisted by Pete Sartorius. Leading things off at second base out of Akron University, Brad Goulet. Batting second in right field today out of Parkland Community College, Tynan Shahidi. Batting third at third base, Brendan Doherty out of Bradley. The cleanup hitter out of left field at Moorhead State, Arthur Sells. The 5th hitter in center field today, we saw him pitch a little bit yesterday. Coming to us from Harding University, a D2, Chris Witzke out of Humboldt, Iowa. The 6th hitter and the designated hitter out of Doane University, Aaron Cowboy Mason. Behind the plate today, catching and batting 7th, Nate Schultz. The 8th hitter today at first base out of DMAC and going to Davenport University, Carter Tronson. And batting 9th today at shortstop out of Xavier University, Sam Olson. And the pitcher today out of Briarcliff over in Sioux City, it's Jacob Wesselman. So again, out of Briarcliff as well as Martindale St. Mary's. So he's a homeboy here in northwestern Iowa, so we're glad to have him making the trip today. One of Briarcliff's top pitchers, as this past year, Wesselman had a 5-5 record, an ERA around 4.6. In 56 innings of work, he had 42 strikeouts. He was also a All-Star in the Pioneer League last summer for the Fort Dodge Gypsum Miners. And as a part of Bancroft Bandits last year, Me and Michael both know just how deadly he can be on the mound and how very productive he is at getting outs. So he'll be throwing from the right side today. Very excited to have him along board. Also could be looking at Nick Cole, his teammate at Briarcliff, pitching for us today, as well as Lucas Gardner out of Iowa Lakes Community College, committing to Gardner Webb, a Division I. I believe we'll also be looking at Josh Yelanin today and Brett Price out of DMAC. So again, we're hoping for better things offensively and hoping our pitching can continue to have more success in today's contest. Again, first pitch scheduled just about 10 minutes away at around 2:30, just waiting for the umpires to show up. But when we do that, we're going to get things rolling for another day of baseball here at historic Bancroft Memorial Park. Once again, big thanks to the city of Bancroft letting us play at this hallowed ground for some baseball this summer. Once again, it'll be every weekend, looking at 4 games, 2 doubleheaders, both played on Saturdays and Sundays. So still be a healthy amount of baseball on the weekends for these collegiate players gathering here in Bancroft this summer. Well, we'll come right back for the time of the top of the first inning and first pitch on the way, so don't go anywhere. Thank you once again for tuning in for Amateur Baseball. Okay, and welcome back to Bancroft, Iowa, folks. My name is Mitchell Kieran to call the action of both of these games today between Blue Earth and those guys. We're just about set here as Wesselman takes his spot on the mound. Top of the first inning coming up in just a matter of moments here. Once again, Zoo up for Blue Earth. Top of the order with Kalen Legrid, batting second, Logan Johnke, batting third, Anders Faring. Cleanup, Garrett Anderson, batting fifth, Kaden Mallow. In the sixth hole, Carson Legrid, batting seventh, Joe Shavy, batting eighth, Keegan O'Brien, and batting ninth, Hunter Blease. And on the mound, starting for game number one today, we got Jacob Wesselman out of Briarcliff. Coming to us from Lamar's, Iowa, I believe, out of Briarcliff University in Sioux City. Had a 5-5 record last year, a 4.6 ERA, and 42 strikeouts in 56 innings of work. One of the top arms for the Briarcliff Chargers, and catching today, Nate Schultz. He'll be already calling down for second. Just a handful of warm-up pitches for Wesselman, so wasting little time here. It's 2:35 time of the first pitch, and we got 89 degrees. It's only going to get hotter. I think the high is at around 93. And you guessed it, once again, it's going to be a tough day for batters. Another strong wind blowing straight in from center field at about 24 miles per hour. So really going to have to get through some baseballs here today if you want to have success in getting on base. First pitch from Wesselman, and that one rides high for ball one, and we're underway from Bancroft. Wesselman still working from the windup, and he pitches and reaching out and fouling this one away. Once again, the leadoff batter wearing number 4, the catcher, Kalen Legrid. Again, this is the second game in a short amount of time for Blue Earth. This past Wednesday night, they were right back here at Bancroft against the Fairmont Martins, dropping that one 11-3 to Fairmont. And this one just riding a little too high and inside at the letters for ball 2. For Wesselman's trying to settle in here. Again, with a strong 25-mile-per-hour wind at his back. And this time he rifles a fastball in the zone for strike 2 to get back to even. 2-2 here to the leadoff man, Legrid. And fifth pitch of the at-bat on the way. He fires and right down the pipe, taken for strike 3. First batter facing, and Wesselman sits him down in 5 pitches, so good work there getting back in that zone. And Wesselman now going to go with the center fielder, Logan Johnke for Blue Earth, wearing number 6, batting right-handed. Nobody on, 1 down, infield back a little bit. Outfielders don't have to go back too far. Once again, the wind just going to about kill everything hit in the air as the first pitch gets fouled back into the net. Strike 1. Now, the name for Johnke sounds a little familiar. I believe that's a quarterback out of Waldorf University. Interesting to see him playing baseball here for Blue Earth as he swings and misses at the second pitch here for strike 2. For the center fielder, third pitch on the way, and Wesselman sits him down in 3 pitches. Second swinging strikeout to start off the game for Jacob Wesselman, and he's already in midseason form, it looks like, to start things off. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes for out number 2, and that'll bring up Anders Faring, the left-handed batting first baseman. First pitch, and taken the other way, foul. Starting to get a little bit more of some fans piling in here. It's going to be a nice summer afternoon for a couple of baseball games. Again, 2 7-inning contests for today, and Wesselman just still living in the zone here for strike 2. Could be a 1-2-3 inning here for Wesselman. Wastes little time. Already sets again. And from the windup. Third pitch on the way. Just off the plate for ball 1. Not a bad spot there, trying to execute. And set him down at 3 pitches, but he won't budge. From the windup, Wesselman, fourth pitch on the way. And this time he paints the corner for strike 3. And Jacob Wesselman strikes out the side to start off this one for those guys. And they come up to bat once again. A bit of a slow start with the bats yesterday. Just a couple of 2-0 games, 1-1 and 1 lost for those guys. So they got to find a way to get on the sticks. But, of course, again, it's very tough when you got a 25-mile-per-hour wind blowing straight in. And we got some powerful bats on the team. So, without a doubt, they're looking for gap shots and potentially even long balls. Just not going to work out that way this weekend. So, again, the pitcher for Blue Earth will be the man leading off next inning wearing 00, Garrett Anderson, a big right-hander. It's to be fairly solid velocity. Indeed it is. And the batting order once again for those guys. Leading things off, Brad Goulet. Hitting second, Tynan Shahidi. Batting third, Brendan Doherty. The cleanup hitter, Arthur Sells. Batting fifth, Chris Witzke. Batting sixth, Aaron Cowboy Mason. And batting seventh, Nate Schultz. The 8-hitter, Carter Tronson. And rounding out the lineup with Sam Olson at shortstop. So Brad Goulet was able to make solid contact yesterday when going 1 for 3 in the first game. A couple of hard outs, but as well as a double somehow to deep left field, clearing the left fielder. And a couple of hard hit balls and a base hits just taken away from him on a diving stop in yesterday's contest against Fairmont. So Goulet will try to get things going once again in the leadoff hole for those guys. I want to thank you once again for coming out, those that have, to Bancroft Memorial Park, as well thanking you for tuning into this YouTube broadcast for the game. Be sure to stay up to date on our Facebook and Twitter pages for any updates or announcements on behalf of our brand new baseball team. So Goulet steps in again, the second baseman out of Akron University. He put up great numbers there. Was also an all-region player at DCTC. .313 average last year, 7 home runs, and 35 stolen bases. So possessing a good combo of strength and speed as he takes ball one low and away outside to get ahead in the count. Anderson working from the windup, second pitch on the way, and Goulet rips this one right at the third baseman. Picks it up and just not in time. Again, another hard hit ball. And just an unfortunate turn there for Goulet as it's just rocketed right at the third baseman. He doesn't have to move much at all. He even nearly beat out the throw. So stepping in now will be Tynan Shahidi, today's right fielder out of Parkland Community College. He put up great numbers there. .328 average as he swings and fouls back on the first pitch of his first at-bat of the day. Moving up to the 2-hole today. .328 average, again, 14 stolen bases, so good spot for him in the order here, but he'll take the second pitch for strike 2 on the outer half. So he's now going to have to battle back here with 2 strikes, no balls, 1 down, nobody on. And Anderson quickly goes back to work from the windup, and this one just taken above the letters for ball 1. Not a bad pitch there. Anderson with the windup and the 1-2, and this one, Shahidi reaches out, just pokes foul. Working a 5-pitch at-bat thus far. Anderson back in the windup, and Shahidi still fights this one off. Another foul ball. Out over the first base dugout, so now a 6-pitch at-bat for Shahidi to start off the day. And a still fairly productive at-bat to really work up that pitch count. 1-2, reaches out and pops this one up. A soft line drive towards second base and an easy catch for out number 2. Now batting third today will be the third baseman, Brendan Doherty out of Bradley University, a Division I in the Missouri Valley Conference. It was a 4-year starter there, a freshman All-American back in 2017. And he'll work now with 2 outs. Check swings at the first one and holds back for ball one, just a tad high. On deck, we got Arthur Sells. Second pitch to Doherty, and this one will be taken, and painting the corner there for strike one on a fastball. Good spot, low and away for Anderson. Anderson shakes off a couple pitches and goes back from the windup. Third pitch on the way, and Doherty fouls it straight back. Second straight batter going to work back from 2 strikes behind in the count 1-2. Doherty right now, and he'll take this one in the other box outside for ball 2. Back from the windup and the 2-2, and Doherty swings right through it. Perhaps a foul tip, but caught for strike 3. So those guys stall once again on offense, and it's a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings in the first. We head to the top of the second, still scoreless. 4, 5, 6 due up for Blue Earth after Wesselman strikes out the side. Welcome back to Bancroft as Wesselman quickly goes back to work, firing strike 1 past the cleanup batter and pitcher Garrett Anderson, who had a 1, 2, 3 innings, striking out Doherty for 1. So he quickly had a productive first inning. We're here in the top of the second, still scoreless from Bancroft. And Wesselman this time makes him pop up towards first. Tronson looks like he has a play on it and slides, but and can't make the grab in foul territory. I think that might have potentially broken a bat too, not sure. Anderson steps back in behind the count. 1 ball to 2 strikes, and Wesselman going to quickly go back from the windup. He fires. And this one grounded right towards Tronson, this time at first, and it's an easy ground ball, and he'll step on first for out number 1. So again, Jacob Wesselman wastes little time to settle in the zone so far. He's just attacking these batters now, striking out the first 3 he faced in the first, and we got 1 down now. Anderson grounds out to first, and taking strike 1 to the outer half now is Kaden Mallow, the 5th batter and second baseman, wearing number 8 for Blue Earth in the navy blue today. 0-1 from Wesselman, trying to show a quick drag bunt and pulling back on strike 2. So Wesselman just in the zone early in this contest. From the windup in the 0-2, and that'll do it in 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Kaden Mallow goes down for Wesselman's 4th strikeout to start off this game, and he is hot out of the gates. So after sitting down, Mallow will now bring up the designated hitter Carson Legrid, wearing number 33, batting for the 3rd baseman. Wesselman still in the zone. He rifles a fastball for strike 1. Gets his call from Schultz, the catcher out of Miami, Ohio, and a second pitch on the way. He gets him in the attic, coming up empty-handed, swinging a miss for strike two. And Legward quickly goes behind 0-2. Wesselman already working. He kicks and fires, and good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And another 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Wesselman. Great efficiency for him. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Wesselman is off to a great start on the mound for those guys. And we got 4, 5, 6 due up here in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless from Bancroft. We played 1.5 here from Bancroft, Iowa, as we got Arthur Sells now coming up to bat. Batting cleanup for the second straight day. He is the left fielder out of Moorhead State of Division I. And he'll take the first pitch off the plate for ball one from Garrett Anderson. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the first, so already locked in. A bit of a pitcher's duel. None of those guys can get things going here in the bottom of the second. Sells takes his first hack of the day and fouls it back into the net. On 1-1 count now, nobody on, nobody out. Cleanup Sells leading things off, and he'll take one just away from the corner. Low and outside for ball two. Not a bad spot for Anderson to set up here to try to work ahead, but he's going to quickly go back from the windup, and Sells this time fouls it high and out of play to the first base side. Fifth pitch on the way, and a curveball that just runs off the plate. Anderson trying to paint that low outside corner to get ahead of Sells, but he takes it for ball three, and the payoff pitch on the way. And to start things off, it is a 6-pitch walk for Arthur Sells, as he will get a free 90. And the first base runner of the game, as the left fielder out of Moorhead State walks. And that'll bring up Chris Witzke, a dual player out of Harding University of Division II. Home state boy here in Humboldt. He'll be batting fifth and playing center field for those guys here in game one. And the first pitch grounded towards second base, and this could be trouble for those guys. And Sells tries to duck out of the way. It'll be a fielder's choice. Witzke able to beat it out. He's got exceptional speed on the base paths, but almost could have been a double play. And taking away the go-ahead run for those guys. So they'll just trade spots for one out to bring up Aaron Cowboy Mason out of Doane University. Just finishing his senior year, one of their top batters for the Tigers, as he hits this one to the air to the right side, and it looks to be an infield pop-up. And luckily, it'll just get away from the second baseman. Foul. Trying to race that one down. It was Kaden Mallow. He called off both the right fielder and first baseman, who might have had a much better chance at that one. But again, that wind's going to be brutal. Anything hit in the air, not going to go deep, but it could run away from you. And I think that's what happened there. So Aaron Mason going to have his second chance to get another base hit here. He had a 1-for-3 performance yesterday against New Ulm. The 0-1 pitch to Mason, and this time another foul ball down the first base line. So Mason with that aggressive approach, already hacking at the first two pitches, fouling him away for an 0-2 count. He's going to battle now. Third pitch on the way. And Anderson going to quickly just hold Witzke on at first. Quick move, but a soft throw. And from the belt. And Mason will just foul this one straight back into the net, and they're just battling now. Anderson going right after Mason. And he's taking all of his pitches and just fouling them. And I bet you can hear that wind picking up now. You can see on your viewing screens, it's just pretty crazy here today. It's very hot and dry. We got 92 degrees and a very strong wind out of the south. The 0-2 to Mason, and beautifully paints the corners outside for strike number 3. And that's out number 2 now to bring up the catcher, Nate Schultz. And then yesterday's contest against Fairmont, those guys unable to take advantage with runners on base or even a scoring position at that, losing that game 2-0. So not quite the start yesterday they were hoping for, not getting that 4-0, but hey, they're still going to try to battle for at least 3-1 is the hope. With 2 down, we now bring up the catcher, Nate Schultz out of Miami of Ohio. And he'll take the first pitch for strike 1, and Anderson now starting to settle in. He's trying to throw away from the right-hand batters. 279 hitter this past year, 5 stolen bases. And he'll take that one for strike 2. And he had an OPS of around 761. Very solid work there. The 0-2 to Schultz, and they'll take this one high and inside. A little bit of chin music and no interference as Witzke will steal second on the play. A great jump, and the catcher couldn't get the throw off. Schultz literally just ducked out of the way. That one was coming high and inside, right at the neck. Anderson will reset from the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch, and Schultz will swing right through it for strike 3. So Anderson gets a couple of strikeouts here in the second as those guys leave one runner stranded on second on a 1 walk and a fielder's choice. And we're still scoreless heading to the top of the third inning here from Bancroft Memorial Park with the 7, 8, 9 hitters for Blue Earth due up. Back here in Bancroft, and we only have one base runner thus far, as he gets stranded on second in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless here, locked in yet another pitcher's duel today. But Jacob Wesselman still having another lights-out performance on the mound for those guys. A lot of depth on our pitching rotation. And this time it'll miss on a curveball low and inside. Coming back here for Blue Earth, the 7th hitter and left fielder, Joe Shavy, wearing number 21. As 7, 8, 9 due up here at the top of the third. And this time Wesselman blows a fastball right past the low outside corner for strike 2. Works ahead in yet another count. 1-2 on the way. Very close to the same spot, just missing for ball 2. Nearly executing once again, but just going to miss, and we'll get back to even. 2-2 in the count now. Nobody on, nobody out. And this time, this one hit right to the first baseman, Carter Tronson. He has to take a couple side steps there, but makes a great grab. A sharply hit line drive for out number 1. With 1 down now, we'll go to the 8th batter, Keegan O'Brien, and the right fielder. Wesselman just in a zone thus far. He's just wasting little time, keeping the Pirates of Blue Earth on their toes. And the pace up on his delivery. An 0-1 already on the way. Nearly paints the corner again, just missing for ball 1. Third pitch of the at-bat and fouled straight back into the net for strike 2. One, 2 now for O'Brien, as Blue Earth also looking for their first victory of the year. Again, with that 11-3 loss to Fairmont this past Wednesday, those guys 1-1 in today's contest, and this one just off the plate for ball 2. Not going to get Keegan chasing on that one. 2-2. And this one hit in the air to straightaway center. Witzke looks like he's camped and he'll have to come in a little bit. But he makes the grab for out number 2. Again, it's got to be very tough for the outfielders. They're not given much distance with this wind. And even when he thought he had it calculated, still had to come in a little bit. But still manages to make the grab for out number 2. First pitch of the at-bat and a nice curveball right there running across the plate for strike 1. To the shortstop, Hunter Blease. 9-hitter here. Trying to get something going with 2 outs for Blue Earth and going back with a breaking ball. Wesselman just misses with that one for ball 1. A little bit below the knees and right back in the windup. This time a fastball gets him chasing high for strike 2. And a 1-2 count now. I want to thank Josh Lonan out of DMAC for doing the scoreboard for us. He'll be pitching here in the next game. Excited to have him down here. And this one fouled straight back. Still strike 2 and a 1 ball in the count. A 1-2. And this one looks like it skips in the dirt. He offers at it and goes to first. So it's a strike 3 and a swing and a miss. Not technically a drop third strike, as it was just well before the plate. That's going to skip past Schultz. So a drop third strike, and Blease will take first base. So already 9 hitters face. Wesselman has 6 strikeouts, but that's the first base runner for Blue Earth. A drop third strike will go right back to the top of the order with Kalen Legrid. A swinging strikeout in the first inning. He steps in 0 for 1. First time Wesselman going to go out of the stretch today. With 2 outs, he offers strike 1, blowing a fastball past Legrid. On the count as Wesselman gets his pitch from Schultz. Kicks and fires. And this one fouled straight back out of play. Strike 2. Wesselman quickly back ahead 0-2. To the count here for Wesselman. Schultz setting up a little outside, and it looks like we got a pickle as he picks off towards first. And Blease caught in a rundown, and he will be tagged out by Sam Olson. Great job for him running him down, and a great pickoff move by Jacob Wesselman. to end the inning, and he caught Blease here in the headlights. He was just going to head for second. Might have been a sign, and Wesselman just anticipated it perfectly. So instead, Kalen Legrid will lead things off in the top of the fourth coming up next. But first, we got the bottom of the three for those guys as 8, 9, and top of the order due up. Carter Tronson to lead things off. Sam Olson on deck and Brad Goulet in the hole. All due up for those guys next. Back here in the bottom of the third, and Carter Tronson out of DMAC committing to Davenport University, set to lead things off. And for those guys hitters, they just got to try to change up the approaches. They're trying to do too much, it looks like, trying to hit the gap shots or go for some balls to the fence. But as you can already tell, this wind is not letting anybody get lucky with some hard hit balls to the outfield. Tronson chases upstairs, swinging a miss for strike one. 1-1 count now to lead things off here in the bottom of the third. This time he'll take it close to the same spot for ball two. Tronson, all-region player at DMAC, also a state champion in high school out of Urbandale, a 4A. And this time Anderson sets up outside and gets it for strike two, and a 2-2 count here to Tronson. Anderson shakes off a pitch, quickly goes from the winds-up, and he gets Tronson chasing above the shoulders for strike three, swing and a miss. That's now 3 consecutive strikeouts for Garrett Anderson. 2 of them ended the second. And him and Wesselman are just locking horns in a pitcher's duel so far in the first of 2 contests here today. 1 down, we now go to Sam Olson as he fouls this one out of play towards the parking lot. Olson, a shortstop out of Xavier. 294 hitter there, 24 stolen bases. Hitting 9th for us today. Pitch to Olson, and it looks like a bit of a slider there. Cuts across the plate, comes in sharply for strike two. Still waiting to get something going here offensively through the first 3 games. And Olson swings and misses through a curveball for strike 3 as he goes down in 3 pitches. Again, this first weekend, just kind of getting a feel for the matchups back in live pitching, as got to imagine pretty much all of our college hitters wouldn't exactly have access to batting practice in the past couple of months. This is some of the first live pitching they're seeing since their seasons got cut off. And Goulet trying to show bunts, but he'll pull back as that one misses in the dirt outside for ball 1. Goulet will step back in. A 1-0 count here, 2 away. Nobody on base. Middle infield back as Goulet rips this one right at the shortstop, and it's going to go right through the legs. 5-hole there. Right underneath Hunter Blease, so that'll be an E6. But again, a sharply hit ball from Goulet, and for the second straight time, just right at a fielder. Two away, and Goulet gets back on base here, and that'll bring up Tynan Shahidi, right fielder. Goulet takes off for second. Shahidi will take the first pitch ball high, and Goulet, as this ball goes past the second baseman and into center field, but Goulet will still hold up at second. But on the first pitch to Shahidi, it's ball one, and Goulet takes second. Had a couple of stolen bases yesterday, too. A great athlete in the leadoff hole. Let's hope those guys can find a way to bring him home with two outs as Shahidi ropes this one to left field, and they're going to send Goulet around third. There's going to be a play at the plate, and not in time. An RBI single for Tynan Shahidi, and those guys crack the scoreboard first here in the bottom of the third. Nice job done there for Shahidi, ahead in the count 1-0. Just sat back and roped this one through the 5-6 hole in a line drive. Again, it might have been trouble sending him around third with the left fielder coming up on that ball as the relay was cut off by the third baseman, and throw just not in time. Goulet too fast. So 1-0 now for those guys, and Shahidi trying to get a balk. But nothing there, just dancing around towards second base. But he'll be left at first. As the first pitch to Brendan Doherty misses for ball one. He's looking for redemption after striking out in the first. 1-0, and he'll take this one high and outside. Ball two. So the three-hitter Doherty. Let's hope that those guys can get something going here with two outs. Hitter's count here. He can be picky, and he'll hit this one in the air towards left center. It's going to hang up, but can the fielder get to it? He does, even with the sun in his eyes. Trying to judge the wind, and it's just going to be a tough one. Still caught for out number 3. Doherty goes down, and one runner, Tynan Shahidi, will be left stranded on first, but nonetheless, we got our first run of the ball game from an RBI single from Tynan Shahidi after Brad Goulet gets on, steals second, and gets two more bases after that. So now Jacob Wesselman has a run at his back as he'll come back in here for the fourth inning. So top of the fourth coming up, we got the top of the order. Kalen Legrid, 1, 2, 3 due up. We also Logan Jonke on deck, and Anders Faring due up for Blue Earth. Welcome back to Bancroft as Wesselman starts off 0-1 on a swing and a miss from Kalen Legrid, stepping in 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first. This one fouled up and out of play, straight back. So Jacob Wesselman finally having a lead here as he's seen every batter at least once. 9 hitters faced, 6 strikeouts. Giving up one base runner on a drop third strike. This one going to miss outside for ball one. Legrid was back 0-2 to end last inning for a pickoff, caught Blease, and a rundown for out number 3. So he steps back in 1-2 the counts, and this one hit towards second. Goulet is going to have a play here, and he flicks it to Tronson for out number 1. Stepping in 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Back in the top of the first on 3 pitches. Logan Jonke, the center fielder, swings and misses to an outside fastball on strike 1. So Jacob Wesselman already looking in mid-season form here through 3 innings and a third. 6 strikeouts as Jonke rolls over on this one. Foul towards the third base side. And the wind just really relentless here on a hot, dry day in Bancroft. 0-2 the count to Jonke. Wesselman winds and fires, and that will do it once again at 3 pitches taken as Wesselman paints the corner for his 7th strikeout. Sorry about that if you're watching in, getting that taken away from you. And here we go. Okay, now the batter, we got Anders Fehring stepping in 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And that'll be taken for ball 1. Swung on and missed for strike 1 here. Wesselman gets back to even. Third pitch of the at-bat, Wesselman back from the windup. And this one will skip in the dirt, taken low for ball 2. Only 1 hit so far in this contest, and it just came this past half inning from Tynan Shahidi, again getting that RBI single to left, scoring Brad Goulet from second. Fourth pitch of the at-bat, swung on and fouled out of play into the streets past third base. Two on the way and painting the corner once again to end the inning. Jacob Wesselman gets his 8th strikeout of the game. Wow. So Jacob Wesselman already in a zone here through 4 innings. He has 8 strikeouts, but with action in the bullpen so far for those guys, that might do it. Just going to see some limited time from pitchers just trying to get back. So heading into the bottom of the 4th, we got a 1-0 lead for those guys. Tynan Shahidi with that RBI single last half inning, and now up we got 4, 5, 6. Arthur Sells set to lead off once again. Able to walk back in the 2nd. Got deep in another. With that now, Sells will take this pitch and foul it into the parking lot over the first base dugout. Strike 2. 2-2 the count now. Nobody on, nobody out as the cleanup man out of Morehead State will lead things off once again. And this time ropes it just right at the third baseman. They have just gotten no luck whenever they're getting good bat on the balls. Right at the third baseman, Sells lines out. Stepping in 0 for 1, reaching on a fielder's choice is Chris Witzke. And he'll take the first pitch above the letters for ball 1. He'll step back in, second pitch on the way. And this one will ride in the other batter's box for ball 2. 2-0 count for Witzke. He'll step back in here ahead with a hitter's count. He can be picky. But really, it's just going to try to hit the ball where it is and try to get it hard on the ground, make the defense work at it. You're not going to get much success trying to hit the gaps out in the outfield today. 2-1 to Witzke, and he'll swing to this one on a fastball for strike 2. Be a 2-2 count here, 1 down, nobody on base. That's the hard line drive out from Arthur Sells. 5th pitch on the way to Witzke, and he'll take this one in the dirt. It skips to the plate for ball 3. Still no action in the Blue Earth bullpen. Got somebody coming in for those guys next. Payoff pitch from Anderson, 6th on the way, and he will sit Witzke down, thinking it was low and inside, instead taken for strike 3. That'll bring up stepping in 0 for 1 with a backwards K in the second. Aaron Cowboy Mason. This time he'll lay off 1 above the letters for ball 1. And, if he sees a pitch he likes, he's going to try to run through it. 1-0 pitch. And paying the corner now, Anderson starting to settle back down. 1-1 the count. He's still pitching one heck of a game. That's why leading 1-1. Only 1 hit again in this contest. 1-1 to Mason. He'll reach out for this one and pop it, and it'll fly just straight back out of play for strike 2. One, 2 from Anderson. He'll shake one off and another. And he finally settles. And the pitch. And taken for strike 3. To end the 4th. So great stuff from both starting pitchers today. Garrett Anderson with 7 strikeouts through 4 innings of work, and 8 for Jacob Wesselman. And we got a new arm out on the mound for those guys. So again, the starter Jacob Wesselman's night will end after 4 innings of work, 8 strikeouts. So nice to see him with his stuff working. That'll bring in Lucas Gardner out of Iowa Lakes Community College. A D1 commit to Gardner Webb. He's also pretty local, just about an hour up the road from Esterville Lincoln Central High School. Had 41 strikeouts in 31 innings of work this past year. And a 4.3 ERA, as well as 7 saves. So a pretty good reliever. Gardner Webb should be having a pretty good competitor here. He'll be working out of the stretch. And a pretty unique arm angle that's going to come in about a 3/4 release. So another right-hander as Blue Earth's going to be challenged with Lucas Gardner stepping in on the mound. Leading things off yet again for the Blue Earth Pirates will be Garrett Anderson. He grounded out to first base. Back in the second, he'll be leading off once again. 4 consecutive 1-2-3 innings for Jacob Wesselman as the first batter faced to Lucas Gardner. The first pitch will be skied to left field. Arthur Sells comes in on it. It's a fly out to shallow left for Garrett Anderson to start off the top of the fourth. Make that the top of the fifth. Now they got my bearings straight. We got Kaden Mallow coming up to bat now with 1 down, nobody on base. The 5-hitter and second baseman. Stepping in 0 for 1, had a backward strikeout back in the second. Gardner working out of the stretch from the belt. This one just chopped foul straight down. So already attacking the hitters, and both Anderson and Mallow hacking at the first pitches. With an 0-1 count, Gardner sets and fires, and another ball chopped foul at the ankles of Mallow. As he'll swing at the first 2 pitches and foul him off the ankle, so might just need a minute to walk it off. 0-2, the count, 1 down, nobody on. Already more action. The bullpen could potentially be another arm out of Briarcliff. Nick Cole, another right-hander. The 0-2 pitch from the belts, and this one popped up, and it will just ride out of play. Three pitches and 3 foul balls so far to Kaden Mallow in his second at-bat. Fourth pitch on the way from Gardner. This one ripped down the line, and he hooked it foul. Well batted ball there from Mallow, and he's very aggressive here in this second at-bat. Already 4 pitches, and he's fouling all of them off. And still an 0-2 count from Gardner as Mallow popped this one up once again, fouling out of play. With 2 away, we now go to Carson Legrind as he pops this one up towards shortstop. It's heading for shallow left center. And instead, Arthur Sells will make the grab for out number 3. to end the top of the fifth. We got about 2 more half innings should those guys keep their lead for them to try to increase it. So no runs on no hits for Blue Earth. As we go to the bottom of the fifth. 2 up for those guys. We got 7, 8, 9 with Nate Schultz, the catcher, leading off. The first baseman, Carter Tronson, on deck. And Sam Olson in the 9 hole and in the hole. Bottom of the fifth on the way. We'll be right back. Nate Schultz steps in to lead things off here in the bottom of the fifth, looking for a bit of redemption. Stepping in 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the second. With a runner left in scoring position, and again, that costly error at the end of last inning. That could have put Mallow away to save a couple pitches from Lucas Gardner. A 1-2-3 inning from Lucas Gardner in his first inning of work for those guys. Schultz will foul the first pitch straight back for strike 1. Looks like Anderson will just chat things over very briefly with Legrid, the catcher. And he'll go from the windup. Second pitch on the way. Schultz tries to sit back, but still swings through a curveball and missing. Strike 2. Got an 0-2 count now for Nate Schultz. Anderson gets his pitch. Quickly again works from the windup in the 0-2. And he holds back. Indecisive, but just enough for ball 1. Schultz still looking for a pitch to drive here with 2 strikes. And the 1-2 on the way. Sits back on a curveball, and it hangs in there for strike 3. So with our first relief pitcher in for Lucas Gardner, still Garrett Anderson shutting things down for the most part. That is his 8th strikeout in this contest. That'll bring up now Carter Tronson, also stepping in with a strikeout to lead things off in the third. He steps in with 1 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the fifth as that pitch rides well high out of the zone for ball 1. One 0 to Tronson, swung on and fouled out of play. Anderson shakes off a pitch, and now he'll go from the windup. And Tronson hits this one in the air towards the shortstop, and another pop out here for out number 2. It's like another breaking ball and just getting a piece of it. So just missing it on that one for out number 2. Someone warming up for Blue Earth looks to be Lee Hodges, a right-hander. For Blue Earth could potentially be coming in here if Anderson gets in trouble, but he's still holding his own with 2 outs. We now have Sam Olson to the plate, swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. Oh, 1 the count to Olson, and he'll foul this one back into the net for strike 2. 0-2 count, 2 down, and nobody on base for those guys here in the bottom of the fifth. And the pitch, Olson just stays alive, fouling that one straight back. Still trying to battle back with 2 strikes. Anderson from the windup and a curveball. That one will just hang too high for ball 1. Already got the lone run of this game with 2 down. It was a single from Tynan Shahidi, able to score Brad Goulet. That one back into 3rd inning. And the pitch, Olson will take this one in the dirt outside for ball 2. So he's going to try to climb back, find a way on base, but he gets the count to even. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. 2-2, and he'll stay alive, fouling this one back into the fence. I believe it's now an 8-pitch at-bat for him. Anderson gets his pitch and fires. And Olson hits this one in the air to left field. It could be trouble. It's past the left fielder, and he will not make the grab. It's down and off the fence. Sam Olson with a nice piece of hitting there to battle back with 2 strikes. He doubles to the wall and left. So a pitch that just hung up in the zone high and inside, and Olson just turns on it. And not bothered with this win at all. It carries all the way to the fence. The left fielder trying to make a play on it. No success. Still got 2 outs now, and Brad Goulet out of Akron University steps in. Already a couple hard-hit balls in the 1st and 3rd innings. Reaching by an error, a stolen base, and he's scoring the lone run of this game so far. First pitch to Goulet, taken for strike 1. A 1 count now as Goulet takes a fastball for strike 1. Anderson from the stretch. This one rolls on down the line, and it will go foul. As Goulet races towards first, trying to leg that one out to an infield single. Didn't quite catch that one on the barrel. Swung on a little late, and he's going to be now working with 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes to count, 2 away with Olson on second after the double. Anderson will step off momentarily here. 0-2 pitch to Goulet, and he'll stay alive, fouling it straight back into the net. A pretty simple approach. He's been able to find the barrel so far, but only held a 1 base hit coming in the first at bat for him yesterday. 0-2 still the count. Nobody holding on. Olson at second, and Goulet calls time just in time before Anderson heads to the plate. Count still 0-2 here, with Olson just across the diamond in scoring position. Pitch to Goulet, and gets him chasing upstairs for a swing and a miss. And strike 3. Anderson will work out of that one with Olson left stranded on second. We're out number 3. Got to find a way to make the approaches a little bit simpler here, as we got a new pitcher in the game now. Out of Briarcliff University in Sioux City, Iowa, we got Nick Cole. Another one of the Chargers' top pitchers from Briarcliff, a 5-2 record a year ago, a 4.16 ERA, 47 strikeouts in 62 innings of work. So when we come back, we'll have the debut for those guys for Nick Cole. Set to face the 7-8-9 hitters for Blue Earth and Joe Shavy, Keegan O'Brien, and Hunter Blease. First pitch here in the top of the sixth blows a fastball past the batter, Joe Shavy, for strike one. It's Nick Cole in the game now. Working from the stretch in an 0-1 count. This one popped up in the infield, and it's going to stay in range for Cole to make the grab for out number one. So despite a couple of nice base hits from Sam Olson this past inning, a double to deep left field, as well as a single from Tynan Shahidi earlier in the game to score Brad Goulet. Those are our only base hits so far for both teams. Pitch from Cole misses inside for ball one. Stepping in 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field, Keegan O'Brien, the right fielder and 8-hitter for Blue Earth. And the 1-0, this one will just skip past Schultz all the way to the backstop. Ball two. We got a 2-0 count now from Cole. Working from the stretch, nobody on, one down. Still a 1-0 game. The 2-0. This one hit hard right back up the middle. Goulet right there to make the scoop. And the throw from Tronson, and he lands right back on the mound after the throw. Great play from Brad Goulet for out number two. So another hard hit ball right back up the middle for Keegan O'Brien, but instead he'll fall to 0-2. And stepping in so far, the lone base runner for Blue Earth. On a drop third strike, it's Hunter Blease. And this one looks like it'll be a slider just missing outside for ball one. So Lucas Gardner had a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the fifth. His day comes to an end. We also saw a great start from Jacob Wesselman. Had 8 strikeouts through 4 innings of work. Third pitch on the way, and it's fouled straight back out of play for strike two. A 1-2 count now with 2 away for Blease, the shortstop. One-two pitch from Cole, and softly hit grounder towards first. Tronson will flick it to Cole, and he steps on the bag, and it's another quick inning of work for those guys defensively. After a 3-1 put out to put away the Pirates in the sixth, one final half inning for those guys to try to increase a 1-0 lead. As we got 2, 3, 4 due up with Tynan Shahidi leading off. On deck, we got Brendan Doherty. And in the hole, the cleanup hitter, Arthur Sells. Bottom of the sixth on the way. Those guys leading Blue Earth 1-0. Well, we've had consistent great pitching and strong wins out of the South-Southeast region for this contest, but here to start off the top of the 6th. Yeah, wearing number 2 for Blue Earth, Lee Hodges. Big right-hander. Tynan Shahidi getting one of the 2 hits so far for those guys. Stepping in 1 for 2. Last time up had that RBI single. Scored Brad Goulet for the lone run so far this game. So Shahidi will step back in here for his 3rd at-bat of the game. And he'll take this one off the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count. Shahidi, he rolls over on this one for a foul ball. Strike 2. To the count now to Shahidi after the foul ball. And Hodges with the pitch, setting up outside. This one will miss well outside in the other box for ball 1. Fourth pitch of the at-bat, Shahidi reaches out and he'll hit this one into right field for his second base hit of the day. Another single for Tynan Shahidi in the 2-hole for those guys, and already he's having a productive day. 2 for 3. Coming to us from Parkland Community College, a .328 average there, 14 stolen bases. Let's see if he'll try to add on to that. Got the 3-hitter up now with nobody outs and 1 man on first. As Hodges picks over, it's Brendan Doherty at the plate now, stepping in 0 for 2. Good discipline. He was able to draw a handful of walks in yesterday's games. Shahidi heads towards second as Doherty takes the pitch for strike 1. And once again, the catcher and the middle infielder is unable to connect on the throwdown. Shahidi will steal second. And with that one going into center field, he'll just remain at second. Couldn't quite get up in time. On the count now to Doherty with a runner in scoring position, nobody out, and instead we'll see a mound visit from Legrid and Hodges. Doherty, a 4-year starter out of Bradley University, and the second pitch of the at-bat, he cranks this one to deep right field, but it will be caught up in the air, and you hate to see that happen so often as he just finally gets into a pitch, but Shahidi will advance to third base. So 1 down, and Doherty still finds a way to advance the runner, now just standing 90 feet away for Arthur Sells after another flyout. Still a well-hit ball for Doherty, just hit it right on the nose. Instead, that wind blowing in from right center just killed it in the air. And Arthur Sells will swing to the first pitch outside for strike 1. Had a walk back in the second and a hard line drive out right at the third baseman. Try to find a way to slow the game down and just try to find a way to bring that runner home from third. Not a bad spot there for Hodges, trying to paint the low outside corner, but missing for strike. Actually, ball 1. 1-1 count now. And Sells will swing and miss at strike 2 there. Fastball outside. Sells back in the box here with a 1-2 count. Trying to bring Shahidi home with this pitch, and he'll foul it straight back. Another foul ball. Count remains at 1-2 here for Arthur Sells, trying to bring home an RBI. Instead, he'll stay alive, fending off another outside pitch. Still a 1-2 count. Another pitch to Sells, and he'll foul off another, so he's battling up there with 2 strikes. Trying to bring Shahidi home himself. Arthur Sells with impressive numbers out of Heartland. 363 hitter, 9 home runs. He's finished about half a season at Morehead State. Reaches outside, stays alive here, and he's really just cranking up the pitch count now for Hodges. Hopefully Witzke and Mason can get their timing down. One away, Shahidi still on at third. Those guys trying to increase a 1-0 lead over Blue Earth. 1-2, and this one will miss high. Two count to Sells as Hodges will step off. Facing his third batter of the inning. Kicks and fires, and Sells will stay alive once again, and he's getting deep into a count here. Just doing a good job wasting pitches with 2 strikes. Not exactly one he can drive, but one you can't exactly let go by, so he'll just keep on fouling them away. Hodges resets, and Sells hits this one to the right side towards the batting cage and foul. Another 2-2 pitch here to Sells, and he hits this one in the air towards shallow center field. The shortstop might get it. Said the second baseman does. And just making the grab is Kaden Mallow coming in from second base. Too far out of reach from the center fielder, and the shortstop falls over trying to make the grab. Instead, Mallow just gets into place for it. And again, the wind really just killing that one just to barely pass the infield grass as it continues to pick up now for Chris Witzke. So the challenge is on to try to bring home this run with 2 outs. Hodges from the belt. Witzke hits this one in the air, and it could be trouble. In foul territory and just going out of reach, the wind. Pushing it towards the grandstands here at Memorial Park. That could have been a costly mistake there. Would have been a routine foul out, but instead the wind pushes it right back. So Witzke has another opportunity to get his first base hit of the summer. The 0-1 pitch. He'll sit back on this one and rope it into center field. A nice line drive single for Chris Witzke to bring Tynan Shanidi home from third. Following the pop out, Chris Witzke finds a hole right back out the middle for an RBI single. As those guys now lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th. Still 2 away. And we got Aaron Cowboy Mason stepping in. Instead, he'll hit this one in the air to the left side. Could be trouble. I believe that's out of play. As any fly ball that goes to the left of these light poles in left or to the right in right field, that's out of play. Bullpens and equipment out there just really kind of hazardous. A 1 count here to Mason as Hodges has to come back from the stretch. Witzke runs back to first on just a quick pickoff. Mason will rope this one right back up the middle, and on a diving attempt, we had Witzke heading towards second. Mallow dives and can't make the grab, and there's Aaron Mason's second base hit for those guys. So a hit and run pays off as Mason finally gets into a ball here, drives it right back up the middle for the fifth hit of the game now for those guys. So slowly but surely they're getting back on the sticks. And again, really just at a disadvantage. This is some of their first live pitching that they've seen since March. Batter Nate Schultz takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Stepping in 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. He's looking for a little redemption here. 3 base hits alone this inning, so those guys having a nice productive inning, but Schultz will foul this one back for strike 1. Schultz will let this one ride inside the chalk for ball 2. A 2-1 count here, 2 away. Mason and Shahidi on first and second. Those guys leading it 2-0 now after 3 base hits this inning alone. The 2-1. A big swing and a miss from Schultz, trying to run into one there, instead missing for strike 2. Again, with this heavy amount of wind, you're going to have to try to change your approach, try to hit the balls lower on a line drive or even on the ground. Put the defense to work as you can't really do much trying to hit it long. And now we got another big swing and a miss from Schultz. An unfortunate day for him as he'll go down swinging for strike 3. And out number 3. And at the end of the 6th, those guys are able to plate 1 run on 3 base hits, leaving 2 runners stranded. In the bottom of the 6th, Nick Cole will come out to try to close things for those guys here with a 2-0 lead at his back. Pirates got the top of the order due up for Blue Earth heading into the top of the 7th. Big thanks to Anthony and Sophia listening back in Clear Lake to this live contest between those guys and Blue Earth. Let us know where you're listening in. Let us know where you're listening in to some live baseball this afternoon. Appreciate it. First pitch of the at bat to Kalen Legrid. Gets fouled away out of play into the street for strike 1. Nick Cole had a 1-2-3 inning last time against Shavy O'Brien and Bless. He's got the top of the order due up here as 2 pitches and 2 foul balls for Kalen Legrid, stepping in 0 for 2. As the Pirates of Blue Earth down to their final 3 outs here, trailing those guys 2-0. Cole from the stretch, and this one will ride in the other box outside for ball one. The wind still not letting up from right center. That's been killing a lot of balls, like to name a few, Doherty, as well as a couple base hits. From yesterday's contest, this one weakly grounded towards first. Tronson has to still get in the grass and quickly step on first, and he does for out number one. Ground out for Legrid. It gets out number one, brings up Logan Johnke, the center fielder, stepping in 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts. Looking for his first trip on base today. One down. Here's the first pitch, showing a bunt and pulling back for strike one. Cole getting the inside part of the plate on that one. And we might lose the screen here for a second, but Johnke's going to swing and miss that one in the dirt for strike two. Sorry about that. Let's see here. We'll get this figured out, but I can barely see here with 2 strikes. Johnke goes chasing upstairs for strike 3. And we're down to the final out in this contest. Wind is really not being nice to us today. Big thanks to Josh for the help, by the way. So after a ground out and a strikeout to Johnke, that'll bring up Anders Faring, stepping in 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks as well. Fouling off the first pitch. Here's the 0-1 from Cole. It skips in the dirt and might have got a piece of Faring, but instead didn't. It's a 1-1 count now. Those guys looking for their second victory this season here. Just 1 out away. A 1-1 pitch from the belt, and this one's hit sharply into left field, and Arthur Sells will track it down. A well-hit ball. Corralled for out number 3. And with that, this is our second shared no-hitter to start off the season for those guys. It's shared between 3 pitchers today: Jacob Wesselman, Lucas Gardner, as well as Nick Cole, just closing it out here. Those guys hold on 2-0 to win their second contest of this weekend. They now advance to 2-1. And Blue Earth falls to 0-2 to start off their summer. We still got one more 7-inning contest coming up after a short intermission. We'll probably just actually keep it on this video here. Unless something changes, we'll post a new link to our Facebook and Twitter pages. But again, thank you for listening. And if you haven't yet, never a bad time to step out and catch a game at Bancroft Memorial Park for the brand new independently branded amateur baseball team. Those guys, they win 2-0 over Blue Earths. Be sure to stay tuned for one more 7-inning contest coming up after a short intermission. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bancroft as we're just moments away from the start of today's second game of tonight's doubleheader. Let's go ahead now and meet the batting order for the Blue Earth Pirates. Leading things off in right field, Keegan O'Brien. This second one looks a little different. Batting second, the catcher, Kaden Mallow. In the 3-hole, the designated hitter, Anders Faring. Batting cleanup, we got the left fielder, Garrett Anderson. Batting fifth, the second baseman, Kaden Mallow. In the 6th hole, the pitcher, Logan Johnke. Batting 7th, the first baseman, Lee Hodges. In the 8th hole, the third baseman, Luke Mertens. And in the 9th hole, batting 9th, that is a shortstop, Hunter Blease. Yep. Big thanks to Lucas Gardner up helping me with the scoreboard. He was part of that. Once again, a 3-way shared no-hitter, almost a perfect game. All right, and the starting pitcher today for those guys in this second contest, Nate Zizda out of Northeast Community College, as he rifles a fastball first pitch. Just missing inside for ball one. Now, Zizda this past spring had 6 starts, a 3-2 record, ERA just around 5, and 19 strikeouts in 28 innings. This time he'll paint the corner for strike one. The 1-1 count here, nobody on, nobody out, as O'Brien moves up to the leadoff spot for the Pirates in the navy blue in game number 2. And this one's going to ride a little high and inside for ball 2. Leadoff batter here ahead 2-1 in game number 2 as this one misses high for ball 3. So Zizda just trying to get settled in here. Try to get to the zone to the first hitter of game number 2. And this pitch will be fouled back into the net, so we get to a full count now. As the right fielder O'Brien bumps up to the leadoff spot here. We got last game's leadoff Legrid in the 2-hole, and Faring still batting 3. Zizda from the winds up, the payoff pitch, and he pops him up. But of course, we've just had one heck of a strong wind so far out here today in Bancroft, around 25 miles per hour, blowing straight in from right center field. So any ball hit in the air, you're really going to have to work hard to try and track it down. A lot of well-hit balls just getting killed as it's hit towards the outfield. Really just going to have to try to run through it, or maybe even a grounder. Be most successful. And Zizda on the payoff pitch gets O'Brien looking for strike 3. And the first at bat of this second contest here tonight ends in a strikeout. We got one down here, nobody on base for the left-handed hitter, Kaden Mallow, the catcher. Still at about 92 degrees, a very hot and dry day and very windy as Legard's going to pop this one up out into the street past third. Foul ball. Again, Zizda just completing his freshman season for Northeast Community College. As this one's grounded towards Goulet at second base, he'll make an easy grab and throw to Tronson for out number 2. Also a Sioux City East High School grad. So we got a lot of great players from many different collegiate programs. And they get the chance to represent them this weekend as UPS is very kind enough to delay the order of our jerseys. We'll get those hopefully by next week. But for now, we'll just show you where we come from. The 2 down here, Zizda goes to the windup against Anders Faring. Tries to go low and outside, but going to miss for ball 1 here. Two down, nobody on. Those guys winning the first contest 2-0. Started to get a little bit, started to get offense rolling just a little bit towards the end there. A handful of hits. Tynan Shahidi had 2. He had a good day at the plate in game number 1. Witzke also had an RBI single. Fairly similar lineup to those guys here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Again, another 7-inning contest. But Zizda going to start things off. Anders Faring 3-0 in the count. And the pitch, and this one will miss high and inside. A 4-pitch walk for Faring to head to first base. So no hits for Blue Earth in game number 1. Only one base runner on a drop third strike. So we were very close to a 3-way shared perfect game. So that would have been too shabby after a 2-0 loss to Fairmont. But still, those guys trying to go 3-1 on the opening weekend of the brand new season for this brand new amateur team here in Bancroft. First pitch from Anderson, grounded right back up the middle. And it's going to get right past Olson into center. So on the run, neither Goulet or Olson could corral it. So on the run, that's going to be a single for Garrett Anderson, the cleanup hitter for Blue Earth. We now got runners at first and second, still 2 outs. And we go to Kaden Mallow, the second baseman. At 0-4 in game 1, but he got deep into some at-bats, fouling off a lot of pitches. So he's an aggressive hitter, and he's going to try to hold his own and try to get Blue Earth on the board this time around. Zizza still working from the stretch. He comes set. He kicks and fires. First pitch of the at-bat taken low and inside for ball 1. Not by much, though. Zizda fires from the belt, and this one popped up and fouled out of play over the backstop. Again, that's got to be very tough for a lot of hitters just to change up the approach in the middle of the game, whether you're looking for gap to gap or you're actually trying to get a little bit underneath the ball. Not really the case this weekend. To try to go for low line drives and grounders to be successful, and that is if you have a hole in the defense. But here, Lang can't quite get this one, but I believe it was a foul ball. We're going to get the official call on the pitch. It is indeed 1-2, a foul ball on a check swing from Mallow. Could have been a pass ball, would have been trouble getting both of those runners into scoring position. But instead, it's 1-2 here to Mallow. Zizda checks the runners, and Mallow will call time at the plate. Nobody getting hold on. The infielder still playing back in the dirt. So a 1-2 count here to Mallow. The pitch from the stretch, he'll get him chasing upstairs for strike 3 and out number 3 as Kaden Mallow goes down swinging. So they'll retire the Pirates in 5 here. 2 runners left on base. No runs on 1 hit and 1 walk. And we'll head now to the bottom of the first. Batting order this game for those guys. Leading things off at second base out of Akron University, Brad Goulet. Batting second, the designated hitter, Tynan Shahidi out of Parkland Community College. Number 3 hitter and third baseman, Brendan Doherty out of Bradley University. The cleanup hitter once again out of Morehead State playing left field. It's Arthur Sells. Batting 5th in center field out of Harding University of Division II, Chris Witzke. Number 6 hitter and right fielder, Aaron Cowboy Mason, returning to Bancroft once again this summer out of Doane. The 7th batter and the catcher out of Briar Cliff, Connor Lang. The 8th batter and first baseman, Carter Tronson. And the 9th hitter and shortstop out of Xavier, Ben Olson. He had a very nice double into the wind this past game. And on the mound for Blue Earth will be Logan Johnke, a right-hander out of Blue Earth, Minnesota. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's also a quarterback for the football team at Waldorf University down in Forest City, Iowa. So nice to also see him spending his summers playing baseball. And with that experience, maybe he might have maybe those guys might be a little bit challenged during this game with a quarterback on the mound. And in the leadoff spot, once again, Brad Goulet, a .313 hitter out of Akron, and he has been hitting balls very hard this weekend. Apart from one double, they've just been right at some fielders. As the catcher throws down, we're ready to get things underway here in the bottom of the first. Still scoreless from Bancroft, Iowa. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to our broadcast of today's doubleheader between those guys and Blue Earth. Don't forget, we still got 2 more doubleheaders a week away against a team called Baseball 365 and Wells. It'll be Saturday and Sunday, so 4 more games a week from this one. So Goulet steps in, waiting the first pitch from Johnke as he'll go from the windup. Fires, and Goulet rips this one down the third base side, and it's fair on the first pitch of his at-bat. And he's rounding first, heading for second. And the throw will be cut off as Goulet leads things off with a stand-up double to left field. Nice piece of hitting there for Brad Goulet, making that adjustment, just getting it on the ground. It was only a matter of time before it would finally get past a fielder, and this time it did. So those guys looking for a much faster start this time around offensively. Tynan Shahidi will step in after an exceptional game 1 at the plate. 2 for 3, had an RBI as well. First pitch, and he'll take this one just above the letters. Not a bad pitch for Johnke. The 1-0. Shahidi will take this one in a similar spot, just a little bit high for ball 2. And a 2-0 count now. Shahidi had a single on a line drive into left field, and the 2 strikes just reached out and poked one through the 3-4 hole. That's what you got to do with 2 strikes. A very good approach so far. The 2-0 pitch. And this one will just nab the corner low and away for strike 1. A 2-1 count now for Tynan Shahidi. 328 hitter out of Parkland Community College. 14 stolen bases. 2-1 count now. From the belt, Goulet will take off for third. The throw down, it's not going to be in time. And it's a 3-1 count. Shahidi continues to work ahead as Goulet steals third. So he's already off to a fast start this game offensively. Now just standing 90 feet away is the first run of the contest. And a hitter's count for Shahidi. Johnke's still going to work out of the stretch. From the belt. Swung on and just getting a piece of it. He'll foul it over the backstop, and we now go to a full count here, 3-2. Shahidi looking to drive in another run or get on a walk, a base hit, ball 4 approach here. Payoff pitch is on the way as Shahidi ropes this one right back up the middle, and it gets past the shortstop, Blease, and into center field. Another RBI single for Tynan Shahidi today. That's his 3rd hit on the day. And he's been exceptional at the plate so far. So we still got no outs as through 2 batters we have a double, a stolen base, and an RBI single. Shahidi brings Goulet in from third, and we now go to Brendan Doherty, once again batting in the 3-hole. 4-year starter out of Bradley in the Missouri Valley Conference. He'll take ball 1 low and away. Really ran into a ball, hit it very well. Could have been gone on any other day without 20-mile-per-hour wind on the fly out to right last game. Otherwise, he had a pretty good eye, but this one's going to skip in the dirt and past the catcher. And Shahidi goes into second standing up on the wild pitch. So again, been a little frustrating day for Blue Earth, despite a great pitching performance from Garrett Anderson, as well as their cleanup hitter. Had a great day on the mound in game 1, but of course he wearied and took him out after giving up 1 run. Another was given up. And a 2-0 contest earlier today. So those guys looking to start off their season 3 wins to just 1 loss from yesterday against Fairmont. As Doherty fouls off that last pitch, it's 2-1 in the count. And this one taken low and inside. Doherty will just step out of the way. And this one, Doherty hits it to the right side, and it's going to get right past the first baseman. Shahidi's going to hold up at third. So not quite in front of that one. It might be an infield single for Doherty. Well hit a ball. So still no outs. We got runners at the corners. And Arthur Sells now at the plate. Sells on the first pitch will foul it straight back into the fence. Strike one. Sells got deep into some at-bats last game. See how he fared. He got on by a walk, a line drive straight at the third baseman, and a pop out. So 0 for 2 last game, still searching for that first base hit. And he'll ground it right at the shortstop. This could be trouble. And Doherty called out at second. It'll be a fielder's choice. And Sells will go to second on the air for the throw, and that will bring Tynan Shahidi home. So fielder's choice and an error. Doherty will go in. Actually, Doherty's out at second. Sells will go in at second. So it's now 2-0 for those guys. The runner still in scoring position, one down. To bring up Humboldt's own Chris Witzke. Reached base twice on a single and a fielder's choice. Had an RBI as well. And he pitched yesterday. Pitched fairly well, and this one will be fouled out of play. Strike one. One count as Witzke steps back in. One down, runner on second. Those guys off to a pretty fast start here, 2-0. They still lead in the bottom of the first. Sells heads for third, and he's going to be out on the throw. Caught stealing, but still aggressive base running. Those guys just trying to add and get a little momentum going offensively. So instead, the bases will be cleared, and Witzke now faces a 1-1 count with 2 outs. 1-1 to Witzke. And on the outer half of the plate for strike two. So Johnke going to try to work out of this 2-run first inning. No further damage. 1-2 to Witzke, and this one will die just a little bit low on its way to the plate and in the dirt for ball 2. Empty on the bases, and Deuce is on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away for Witzke's first at-bat of the day, the 5-hitter for those guys. 5th pitch of the at-bats, and that's going to miss for ball 3. Payoff pitch from the windup, and it'll miss low and inside. Witzke will let it just go right by for ball 4 as he heads to first. The wind just really continues to howl as Aaron Cowboy Mason steps in for the first time this game. Mason had a couple strikeouts, then bought his second hit of the summer and a 1-for-3 performance earlier today. First pitch of the at-bat, and Mason swings through a breaking ball, strike 1. Nice curveball that just ran away from him across the plate. 0-1 the count now. Witzke leads off first. Johnke sets and from the belt. Will miss outside Witzke, and he'll head back into first as this one sails over the first baseman Hodges and into right. A 1-1 count now, and that luckily the right fielder able to back up that throw, or else Witzke could have got another free 90. Back to even in the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And third pitch of the at-bat, Mason pops this one up. Could be trouble. And it goes out of play. Mason going to have to battle back from 2 strikes now. 1-2 in the count. Johnke resets, and from the stretch, curveball that just runs into the zone at the last second for strike 3. Overall, a pretty productive inning for those guys, as they plate 2 runs on 3 base hits, get another runner on a walk. So they lead 2-0 heading into the top of the second inning. Nate Zizda heads out for his second inning of work. And 2 up for Blue Earth. We got 6, 7, 8 with Logan Johnke, the pitcher, set to lead off. On deck, we got Lee Hodges, the first baseman. In the hole, Luke Mertens, the third baseman. Welcome back to Bancroft's top of the second inning, just about to get underway. Logan Johnke will step in to take his first at-bat of the second game with a bit of an unfortunate go at it the first game around. 0 for 3 strikeouts. So he's looking to get things going here. First pitch, and that's on the outer half of the plate. Taken for strike 1. Zizda quickly resets and goes from the windup. A slow breaking ball there, and Johnke just going to get a piece of it. Tips it to the backstop for a foul ball, strike 2. Don't forget to stay up to date with us on our Facebook and Twitter pages for any updates as well as scores. Try to keep you informed. Still got a full June schedule ahead of us every weekday. Every weekend, that is this month in June, we'll have a couple of double headers, and Johnke swings through the pitch and misses for strike 3 and out number 1. Stepping in for the first time this game, and I believe the first time on the day, Lee Hodges, the first baseman, get his first cuts in here. Zizda will go back from the windup, nobody on, 1 down, and it'll be fouled to the backstop, strike 1. Still top of the second, Blue Earth has 1 hit and also 1 error. Those guys 2 runs on 3 base hits. The 0-1 pitch on the way, and this one's roped into left field. It's going to be down and extra bases. Hodges around first, and Sell's going to get to the ball at 1, hops the fence on a line drive. A well-hit ball. And a stand-up double for Lee Hodges with 1 down. So there's the second base hit of the game for Blue Earth after failing to get 1 in the first one. Slowly going to get back on the sticks here. They're looking to crack the scoreboard now with a runner on second. 1 down. We go to Luke Mertens, the third baseman. First pitch to him is right down Broadway, taken for strike 1 on a fastball. Zizda again had a 3-2 record this past spring at Northeast Community College. 0-1. And he'll hold off on it, just a little indecisive on that pitch. It just crosses the inside part of the plate, taken for strike 2. Oh, 2 from the belt, and it'll ride outside for ball 1. been a slider that just runs into the other box. Fourth pitch of the at-bat on the way, and it's chopped foul towards the first base dugout. So he'll stay alive with 2 strikes. Merton's the third baseman getting his first at-bat of the day. He played third, got DH'd fourth. First time around. Still a 1-2, and the pitch, and it's ground to the right side. Goulet is going to have to get this one on the run, and a tremendous play, and Tronson makes the pick at first. Beautiful defensive effort, Goulet, for out number 2. Scoops the ball in, just does a 180 on the spin and the throw. Tronson with the pick for out number 2. Now Hodges reads it, advances to third. Ground ball to the right side, so he's now 90 feet away from cutting those guys lead in half. Still 2-0. We'll go to the 9-hitter Hunter Blease, the shortstop. Just offers the first pitch just outside ball 1. 1-0 count here. Zizda from the stretch, and he'll paint the corner that time, taken for strike 1. Lang, the new catcher out of Briarcliff. And for Schultz this game, this one just a bit outside, taken for ball 2. Not a bad spot there from Zizda, trying to live outside from these right-handed hitters. After giving up that double from Hodges deep down the line in left field. And here's the fourth pitch of the at-bat from the stretch. Nice breaking ball, runs across the plate, taken for strike 2. And Blease is once again going to have to battle back from 2 strikes. He was the lone base runner for Blue Earth last game on a drop third strike. And the 2-2. And this one's rolled over foul to the third baseman, Doherty. Could have been trouble had it just taken a Blue Earth hop and stayed fair. Hodges surely would have come in to score. And that could have been an RBI infield single for Blease. Instead, it's a foul ball, still working with a 2-2 count. Zizda resetting here. 6th pitch of the at-bat. He fires, and this one will ride high and inside, and Blease tries to duck out of the way, but not in time. It's a hit by pitch, and he'll head to first. We got runners at the corners now. And we'll go back to the top of the order. Keegan O'Brien stepping in. He went down looking on a strikeout back in the first. Two away runners at first and third. As I think that last pitch just got away from Zizda. He'll quickly hold him on, throwing over to Tronson at first base. And here's the first pitch of the at-bat. O'Brien watches it go by low and away for a fastball, strike 1. Nice spot there for Zizda. He's got 3 strikeouts thus far, nearly 2 complete innings. Now here comes the 0-1. Swung on, fouled straight back for strike 2. To O'Brien, and 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Thanks for playing. There's out number 3 on strike 3 to Keegan O'Brien as 2 runners get left stranded on 1 base hit, 1 hit batter. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. Those guys still ahead of Blue Earth, 2-0. Back here in the bottom of the second from Bancroft Memorial Park, we got 7-8-9 due up Connor Lang, the catcher from Briarcliff, getting his first at-bat today. We got Carter Tronson on deck and Sam Olson in the hole. Logan Johnke, a bit of a rough start here, just 2 runs on 3 hits. Looking to hold those guys to no more damage here. But we got Lang up out of Briarcliff, a former All-State as well as an All-Star in the state of Iowa for Missouri Valley High School. And Lang will step in. Johnke will reset from the windup. Nobody on, nobody out. He fires. Lang will swing at the first pitch and just get a piece of it foul tipped into the mitt for strike 1. Oh, 1 as Johnke shakes off a pitch and then rewinds. And he'll miss low away and in the dirt, ball 1. And Lang had a couple of hard hit balls yesterday, just right at some fielders. One that could have potentially been a long ball to left. Got caught up in this wind we're getting here in Bancroft this weekend. Third pitch of the at-bat, that'll scoot to the backstop for ball 2. Two one count here to the catcher, Connor Lang. Johnke from the winds up, and this one will skip in the other batter's box for ball 3. Now a hitter's count here as Lang works ahead, 3 balls, 1 strike. Fourth pitch of the at-bat, make that the 5th, and it'll miss for ball 4, just outside. So once again, we'll start off the second consecutive inning with a base runner on in the first at-bat. Lang gets a free 90. Base on balls to bring up Carter Tronson, the first baseman out of DMAC. Lang will lead off at first. And the first pitch here from Johnke, well outside for ball 1. He's going to have to try to find a way to resettle down again. Try to get back in the zone. Working from the stretch now. Lang with a slight lead at first. The catcher, he'll just stay on base and run here. As Tronson has a well-hit ball into shallow left center, and on the dive, he can't get to it. Tronson has his first base hit for those guys this summer. On a line drive that just falls shy of the diving center fielder. We now got runners at first and second. Stepping in the 9-hole, Sam Olson. He doubled last game. 1 hop to the fence in left field. So now Johnke from the stretch. Olson shows a nice bunt. It goes down to the third base side. He's going to have to go to first, and not in time. Sam Olson with an infield single on a bunt. That will advance the runners. We now got them at every corner here. Bases loaded for Brad Goulet at the top of the order. So the bases are juiced for Brad Goulet. He doubled his last time up, just right down the line. The third base side on a grounder. First pitch to Goulet. Almost getting him. He just sidesteps out of the way. Could have been a hit by pitch and potentially an RBI, but those guys looking to add here. Still nobody out. Runners at first, second, and third for the second baseman out of Akron. Second pitch to Goulet, and taken well outside ball 2, and Johnke have to find a way to get back in the zone here. Still no action in the Blue Earth bullpen. And a 2-0 hitter's count to Brad Goulet. He's going to be looking for a pitch to drive. Third pitch of the at-bat. Goulet will take this one upstairs for ball 3. And a 3-0 count. Not sure if he has the green light here. Might just hold up. I believe that's what he'll do, try to get the timing down, and he'll take this one. A little bit of chin music for ball 4 and a free 90. So a run scores before Jockey can find a way to get out number 1. So now he's just having a rough start out here as the catcher heads out to the mound. Those guys extend their lead to 3-0. Still no outs. And it might be time for those guys to wake up the offense. And we got Tynan Shahidi stepping in, 1 for 1 with an RBI single, a 2 for 3 earlier, so he's having a great day in the box. See what he does here with the bases loaded. So Jockey trying to resettle in here. He'll be going from the windup. So far, 2 base hits this inning alone, and 5 total through just 3 outs. And Shahidi will take this one high and inside, ball 1. Johnke back from the windup, and the pitch, Shahidi, and he'll pop this one up, and it'll ride out of play. The wind will just carry it into the parking lot. Strike 1. Johnke delivers the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. Shahidi just swings right through it. Big hack there, but no dice. Strike 2. And he'll fall behind 1 ball to 2 strikes. Johnke from the windup and the 1-2. And Shahidi goes chasing, but instead no drop 3rd strike. It'll just be strike 3 as Shahidi goes digging in the dirt, comes up empty-handed, but that's just out number 1 here in the bottom of the 2nd. Still a 3-0 game for those guys, and they're looking to add with Brendan Doherty at the plate. Got his first base hit last time around towards the first base side. Stepping in 1 for 1. First pitch to Doherty, and he just gets a piece of it straight to the backstop for strike 1. Still bases loaded, 1 down following the strikeout. That was Johnke's 2nd. 0-1 from the windup. Doherty turns on this one and somehow kept in play. The first baseman just stuck his glove out there and stayed alive. So a nice play. They get the out at 2nd as Goulet is just caught in no man's land, but you can't really blame him on a line drive that stays in the infield. But Carter Transon will come in to score from 3rd. So nonetheless, an RBI on Doherty for that. And we'll just have runners at 1st and 3rd. First pitch misses high and inside. So a good piece of hitting there for Doherty to bring in a run, make it 4-0. Still 2 down here. Runners at 1st and 3rd. Sells. The batter swings and misses at this one for strike 1. We got a 1-1 count, 2 away now. It's a 4-0 lead. Johnke goes back from the stretch. 1-1. And Sells pops this one up and straight back foul. I want to thank you once again for tuning into today's contest, a doubleheader between those guys and Blue Earth. Why not just stop on out here just for $5? A great day at the ballpark. Historic Memorial Park, that is, and just great to have these college players back once again. This pitch skips in the dirt, and Doherty will take 2nd on a nice dirt ball read. Two count. 2 outs, runner on 2nd and 3rd. Arthur Sells, 1 well-batted ball. Could spell even more runs for those guys. Fifth pitch of the at-bat. He hits this one in the air to deep left center. This is going to be past the left fielder, and it's gone. Arthur Sells with a 3-run home run to left field. And with the wind really just killing a lot of balls, there's a nice surprise as Arthur Sells goes yard. And be careful there, Lucas, as the wind's really been taking that. It's quite a day we're having in the press box here. These boards just liking to fly whenever they feel like it. But still with that, that's a 3 RBI home run for Arthur Sells in the cleanup hitter, and finally getting his first base hit. That's a big way to do it. In the face of this wind, he sends it out over the left field fence, making it 7-0. 2 outs here. Chris Witzke takes ball 1 high and away. A 1-0 pitch to Witzke, just outside, riding the chalk for ball 2. Ball 3 to Witzke as those guys finally get to an impressive offensive showing early in this contest, 7-0. It's a 3-0 count to Witzke. Johnke from the winds-up, and this one misses just above the letters for ball 4. Now Aaron Mason wanting to join the offensive party. With a runner on first, 2 away, and he's looking for a little bit of redemption here. Struck out looking back in the first inning. Still went 1 for 3 earlier today. And Aaron Mason rolls this one over towards third. It could be trouble, and that should do it. And Johnke finally gets out of this inning after 4 hits, 1 big home run from Arthur Sells, and 5 runs, making it 7-0 for those guys heading into the top of the 3rd inning. Blue Earth coming to bat, 2-3-4 due up. So in the face of a near 30-mile-per-hour wind, Arthur Sells sends out a big home run to left field, accompanied from also 4 other base hits that inning alone, and those guys lead 7-0. Heading here into the top of the 3rd inning over the Blue Earth Pirates. Still got Nate Zizda on the mound for those guys, and he's had a fairly solid day on the mound so far. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. He's got Kalen Legrid at the plate, and he's just going to sidestep away from this one. The catcher batting second for Blue Earth this game. We got Anders Faring on deck, and Garrett Anderson in the hole. Zizda with a second pitch in. That's right down the pipe, taken for strike 1. We got a 1-1 count. Nobody on, nobody out. Hot, dry, and windy day here in Bancroft. Third pitch on the way and swung on and missed. A fastball gets by Legrid for strike 2. One-two to Legrid, and he gets him chasing outside for strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Nate Zizda, having a great start to his summer season thus far. He'll be a sophomore out of Northeast Community College. He's also a Sioux City East High grad. Stepping in, we got the lefty number 3 hitter, Anders Faring. DH this time around. He swings through a breaking ball for strike 1. Nice pitch there from Zizda. Second pitch on the way, and just at the letters taken for ball 1. One on the way, and throws a fastball in the black for strike 2. Nice spot there for Zizda. Fourth pitch of the at-bat from the winds-up, and this one hit nicely into right center, and Chris Witzke dives and can make the grab. It gets past him, and Faring's racing around the bases now. He'll go into second standing up with a 1-out double. And with 2 strikes, nice job for Faring to sit back on that one, just rope it into right center. Witzke almost making a nice play on it. One down, fresh count here to the cleanup batter, Garrett Anderson, and he'll watch that one go by for strike 1. Fastball down the pipe. One down here, Faring after the double stands on second. Second pitch, Anderson swings through this one, strike 2. Nice pitch from Zizda, trying to get a quick turnaround here following the stand-up double. And here's the 0-2 to Anderson, taken on the inside chalk for ball 1. I'll lay off that one. One-two to Anderson on the way, taken for strike 3. Sets him up outside and hits his spot. And there's out number 2 from Nate Zizda, doing an exceptional job. Now that's 6 strikeouts in nearly 3 innings of work. That'll bring up Kaden Mallow, the second baseman. 2 down, looking to bring that runner home from second. Instead, Zizda's going to miss low and outside for ball 1. Lang doing a nice job behind the plate. Calling on the pitches as well as not letting much past him. Zizda with a 1-0 pitch here, and Mallow's going to go inside out, hit this one into the parking lot, foul. Got a 1-1 count here to Mallow. Third pitch of the at-bat. Paints the corner for strike 2. Nice spot there from Zizda. And he'll work back ahead in the count once again. 1 ball to 2 strikes. And here's the 1-2, and he gets Mallow in the attic. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that'll do it for Blue Earth in the third. No runs on 1 hit, a double from Anders Faring. So to answer from that, Nate Zizda strikes out the side. And we played 2.5 here from Bancroft, and it looks like we got a fresh arm For Blue Earth on the mound, wearing number 15, Hunter Blease. The shortstop will now come in. Johnke's going to head back out to center field. Bit of a rough day for him. He got 6 hits and 7 runs scored. So unfortunate there as well. He'll be leading off next inning with an 0-for-1 start with a strikeout. And for the second straight inning, we'll be leading things off 7-8-9 with the catcher Connor Lang out of Briarcliff to start off for those guys. On deck, Carter Johnson. In the hole, Sam Olson. So now Lang steps in, walking in, scoring a run back in the second. He'll take a breaking ball just inside for ball 1. So again, we got a fresh noodle on the mound. Hunter Blease, the shortstop, working from the windup. Waits a little time here with a 1-0 pitch. This one will be a fastball in the dirt, ball 2. I think, again, an all-state player out of Missouri Valley, as well as part of that Iowa All-Star Series at the end of the season. He's finished his freshman year at Briarcliff, a 3-0-2 hitter. And he'll take strike 1 on a 2-0 count, so it's now 2-1. Nobody on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The pitch, and this one taken for strike 2. So starting him off 2-0, Blease turns around with 2 quick strikes. 2-2 in the count now. Pitch in, a slow curveball, breaks just a little too late. The call on the ball is high. We now work to a full count to Connor Lang, starting things off here in the third. The pitch, curveball just inside, and Lang buys his second walk of the day. And we'll keep going with Carter Transon. 1-for-1. Singling into left center field, as well as scoring the run. The second run of this past inning. Those guys still lead at 7-0 over Blue Earth here in the second of a doubleheader. And this pitch is going to miss high for ball 1. The 1-0. Tronson takes a big swing, but comes up empty-handed for strike 1. We got a 1-1 count here, nobody out. Connor Lang leads off first. Blease from the belt. And this one just above the letters, ball 2. Olson standing in on deck. He had a bunt for a single last time. And again, we're wondering if it was going to take the whole weekend for those guys to get back in the swing of things. When you take off that extended period of time from live pitching, not exactly going to be in the top of your approach, but with one game, those guys erupt with the bat. 7-0 they lead here, and Tronson will walk on 5 pitches. So 2 straight balls for the new pitcher, Hunter Blease. Lang will stand in on second, Tronson to first, and Olson comes up to bat. A brief mound visit for Blue Earth. Don't forget, once again, we got a complete June schedule so far. Double headers every Saturday and Sunday this month. Still working on one for July. But we'll still see at least 4 games every weekend for these collegiate players here, mostly localized in Iowa, some in Minnesota, as well as Kansas. And I think we're actually going to see a new pitcher. So there are 2 straight walks. Wondering if it was going to be something with an arm issue or just after the walks. Instead, it's going to be Alan Davids, a right-hander. Going to try to get Blue Earth out of another jam here. About a 3/4 delivery. So Hunter Blease looks to be all right. He'll be playing second base now. Just a couple of frustrations for the first 2 pitchers this game for Blue Earth. So now we go down to Sam Olson stepping in 1 for 1. He doubled 1 hopper earlier today and had a bunt for a hit his last time up. Wind continues to pick up here, about 1/4 to 6. Been playing today since 2:30, still about 92 degrees. Wind somewhere between 25 to 30. Olson will take the first pitch strike on the outer half of the zone. 0-1 here. Runners on first and second, following a pair of walks from Blease. So we got the new pitcher in now, Alan Davids. And his pitch will miss high for ball 1. 1-1 count. A 1-1 to Olson, and it's at the shoulders for ball 2. So again, it was only a matter of time before we started seeing some good things from these hitters. Then the pitchers have been pretty exceptional so far. 2 balls to 1 strike to Olson, and this one's hitting the air, and it's going to stay in the infield. So an infield fly, and they're still going to try to catch it. Mallow will track it down. Actually, no, that might be the third baseman, Mertens. So he will make the catch, instead an infield fly, so batter out automatically. Olson just got under it. We'll now go back to the top of the order with Brad Goulet stepping in 1 for 1, reaching twice by a double, 1 run scored and a walk. Sure, he was looking for a big RBI opportunity last time with the bases loaded. Instead, he walked on 4 pitches, so he's looking for something to drive here. He'll take the first one a couple inches off the plate there, still on the outside corner for strike 1. And Goulet rips this one to the right side, and the second baseman makes a nice play. Blease will go to Hodges for out number 2. Goulet grounds out 4-3. The runners will advance to second and third, and that'll bring up Tynan Shahidi, having just a great day at the plate. 2 for 3 earlier today. Now he's 1 for 2 in the 2 spot in the order with 2 outs. And here's the first pitch of the at-bat to Shahidi, taken for strike 1. Now Davids will reset here. 0-1 count. The pitch and a slow curveball somehow missing there for ball one. One count to Shahidi. We got 2 outs here. Those guys still looking to add to a 7-0 lead. In the bottom of the third, this pitch swung on in, just getting a piece of it to the backstop. And that'll get them to 2 strikes here. 1-2 count with 2 away here. Shahidi still ready to go, and David still working from the belt. He kicks and fires, and Shahidi will hit this one to the air to the right side, and the wind will let it drift out of play. And the wind just really howling now. It's been an all-day event, and it looks like it's still in the forecast tomorrow for Bancroft. 1-2. We got the 5th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. And another breaking ball is just going to ride high, not break for ball 2. Two. Shahidi takes this one just a hair inside for ball 3, and we got a full count now. And let me know if you can hear that wind just howl here. Davids will step off the mound. And here's the payoff pitch to Shahidi, and he'll fight to stay alive here. Fouls this one back into the nets. Still a strike. I believe this to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat, so we got a marathon battle here between Davids and Shahidi. The pitch. And he popped him up towards shortstop. Mallow looks like he has it, racing in and making a basket grab, just getting the catch for out number 3. So we'll leave 2 runners on base as a P6 will end up those guys' momentum here after 3. It's still 7-0. And we'll come back 6, 7, 8 in the order for Blue Earth. And as Lang throws down to second, we got ourselves a new pitcher here for those guys in the top of the fourth. It's a left-hander out of DMAC, Josh Lonan, also an Ames grad, at 28 Ks and 38 innings there, and a 4.7 ERA. So we'll see what he can do with it here. In the top half of inning number 4, Nate Zizda with a great showing. 6 strikeouts and 3 innings of work. That'll match Tyler Jacobson's stats from yesterday. And this first pitch will miss outside for ball 1. To the batter, Logan Johnke, going back to center field. He was the starting pitcher in this one. Stepping in 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And he swings and misses at this one for strike 1. 1-1 count here. Josh Lonan, the new pitcher out of DMAC. Just off the corner there, taken for ball 2. Fourth pitch on the way, and this one just off the plate, not by much though. Missing for ball 3. And this one just off the plate, and Johnke will buy his first trip on base today with a free 90 with a walk and 5 pitches. Lonan will go from the stretch now with Johnke on at first. He'll lead off, and this one will miss low for ball 1. So Lonan's going to be working here with a 7-0 lead. Coming in for Zizda. In the top of the fourth, 1-0 count here to Lee Hodges. He doubled last time up, and a nice pickoff attempt. Not in time. It's going to be Johnke sliding back in safe. Still 1-0 here to Hodges. Lonan kicks and fires. This one just outside ball 2. No signs from Garrett Anderson at the third base side. Looks like he's the third base coach. Two 2-0 count here. Then the pitch, and it's just off the plate, so Lonan still's trying to settle in here. We had a 5-pitch walk to Johnke last time, and I'm already starting off Hodges 3-0. Still just trying to settle in. Fourth pitch, the at-bat, and it's right down Broadway, taken for strike 1. Another pickoff attempt, and they got Johnke in a run down here. Tronson throws to second. Olson right back to Tronson, and Johnke is tagged out. Great pickoff attempt from Lonan to buy that out back for out number 1. And he, once again, just about any left-handed pitcher could have a deadly pickoff, and it looks like Josh Lonan has just that. A 3-1 pitch now to Hodges, but this will miss Lonan inside. So back-to-back walks with one down here. Still just got a runner on first base. We'll go to the 8-hole now here in the top of the 4th. We got Luke Mertens up. It's the third baseman. One way, got to be careful now that we know he can that Lonan has a great move towards first. And the first pitch will go for strike 1.